This is Statlander, and welcome to its Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Saturday, September 7, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW All Out, but I'm not alone. Joining me for this is once again Michael 101591.
How you doing, guys? Thank you to Tilla once again for having me on, and all I gotta say is, boom!
Yeah, it's always a pleasure having you on, but let's get into this, because there was a lot of things that happened at All Out. You know?
Yeah.
So let's start off with, I would say, probably the most shocking one here. The Blackpool Combat Club turning on Jon Moxley. I mean, on Bryan Danielson, sorry. Because I did not expect this at all, especially like when you consider that he had just finished his match with Jack Perry, and, you know, it seemed like the patriarchy was going to come out, and, you know, Christian Cage is going to cash in his opportunity. Out comes the Blackpool Combat Club, and, you know, and they, you know, get rid of the patriarchy. I knew something was up when Jon Moxley's hug was hugging Bryan, and it felt like it was taking forever.
Yeah.
You know?
I could have sensed that as well.
So I was like, okay, something's up here. Because that hug went on way too long. And then all of a sudden, you see Claudio uppercutting Bryan Danielson. And then Moxley over here, like, freaking choking him with that trash bag. You know, he could have killed Bryan Danielson with that?
Yeah. I thought that there would be like little holes in the bag, like, you know, like not shown on camera. Like, maybe give, you know, Bryan something to breathe in.
Homie could have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had this image of Bryan just with the oxygen mask and stuff like that. So this is interesting that all the members of Blackpool Combat Club, except for Wheeler Yuta, who was standing there watching this unfold, being held by Pac, like you saw it in his face, how much despair he was in because Bryan was getting attacked and there was nothing he could do about it. So it's interesting that the one thing that all of the Blackpool Combat Club members have in common, except for Wheeler Yuta, is that they're all ex-WWE superstars. Again, are we seeing AEW's version of the invasion? Is Shane O'Mac coming in? What are your thoughts on Blackpool Combat Club turning on Bryan and a potential invasion storyline?
Well, I thought this was, you know, kind of unexpected, like when I saw it. And then it just got to the point where it got very extreme with Claudio putting the bag on Bryan's head. And I'm like, wow, he's going to suffocate him. And there were many points in the night in the pay-per-view where, you know, they were trying to do, you know, murders here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, this was not the first. There are times at night where some of the superstars were trying to do contested murders, which, you know, is crazy when you think about, you know, in the watching pro wrestling, you know. But as for a possible invasion of AEW, I think it's going to happen. You know, because you have Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir together. This is, like I said, this is all setting up to possibly Shane McMahon coming in. He riles up a group, Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir being the first two, and more will come about.
With the amount of ex-13 superstars they have on their roster, they could pretty much add many members to this faction.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Shane O'Mac to appear on that Titantron.
I should be like, I now own AEW.
Imagine that. But this is definitely leading to something. We just gotta wait and see what it leads to. But I think that this is gonna tie into Shane O'Mac coming into AEW.
Yes.
So let's talk. So while we're on the subject, let's talk about this AEW World Title match: Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry. I honestly thought this was a pretty good match. Jack Perry, I feel like, was able to hang with Bryan Danielson. There wasn't a part where I felt like, okay, this match is dragging, but I did feel that the match could have been a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I agree. There were points in the match where it kind of dragged a little bit, but I thought it was a good match. It was a very physical match between Bryan and Jack Perry here. I really like that spot in the match where Jack Perry just sold the hell out of that Busaiku knee from Bryan.
Which psycho knee? Because he did it like 4 times.
I think it was like the third Busaiku knee. Mm. And Jack Perry just sold the hell out of it.
I think my favorite spot in this match was when Jack Perry was mocking Bryan Danielson, but instead of using, going like this, I'm not going to do it on the air, but, he gave the finger.
Yeah, he was like, I wouldn't want to do the finger, though. I don't want to get the Tilla, banned or age-related content.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
So, but overall, I thought this was a good match. A lot of good matches on tonight's show.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go back to the beginning and talk about 0 Hour.
Yeah.
The 0 Hour kicked off with the Acclaim versus Iron Savages. No disrespect to the Acclaim or to Iron Savages. I just wasn't into this match.
Same. This was predictable. We all knew. I even knew that the Acclaim were going to win.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't feel this much at all. I'm sorry.
And all these matches that are on the pre-show, they just do this to get everybody on the card. The pre-shows make you feel like you're watching a extended episode of Rampage. Tony Khan is just like, oh well, we're gonna book you guys on the show, but we're just gonna put you in a match that means nothing.
So next we had the Premier Athletes versus Sammy Guevara, Hologram, and Dustin Rhodes. I say that this match was a little bit better. Hologram is just incredible, number one.
And he's exclusive to Collision.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. He hasn't appeared on Dynamite.
Oh, that's true. He hasn't.
He's always been on Collision.
So like I said, this match is pretty decent. I didn't think this match was too bad. And then we got the Bang Bang Gang versus Dark Order. I say out of all the 3 matches that appeared on 0 Hour, this was the better one of the 3. I did enjoy this match with the Bang Bang Gang. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a decent match here. I like the Bang Bang Gang, with Austin and Colton Gunn, Juice Robinson, who of course is rock hard. And I kind of knew that the Bang Bang Gang were going to win. The Dark Order, they just, in my opinion, just fallen off a cliff to me. But Bang Bang Gang, they came out victorious, and I enjoyed that. Holograms, Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, I knew they were going to win. I mean, the Premier Athletes, nothing but jobbers. Tony Nese and Ari Daivari. Josh Woods is good, but he should just be a singles competitor. Like what you saw in the match here, he can definitely go. He doesn't need Tony Nese and Ari Daivari. And also Mark Sterling.
So we get a Skye Blue segment, as we know, Skye Blue being a Chicago native. So she's still not medically cleared. Mariah May attacks her, and we find out she's still not doing her celebration in Chicago. And Queen Amida comes to Skye Blue's aid. So I have a feeling maybe we might see a match between Mariah May and Queen Amida.
I thought this was building towards maybe Mariah May versus Skye Blue once Skye Blue is medically cleared.
Oh, I definitely do think that too, but until she's cleared, I could see them doing Queen Amida versus Mariah May.
That's probably going to take place on Dynamite Wednesday.
Could possibly be. But good segment.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, on the 0 Hour, we get a 3-way trios match: Top Flight versus Shane Taylor Promotions versus Undisputed Kingdom. Oh my god, commentary made me laugh. They're like, Mike Bennett is spending off more time on the floor than in this match.
That just shows how good Mike Bennett is. Not really.
Mm-hmm. I thought the Beast Mortals had an incredible showing in this match. Undisputed Kingdom won this match. And out of all the matches on the 0 Hour, this one, along with the Bang Bang Gang versus Dark Order, were at least, in my opinion, the two of the better matches. And I like those two the most out of all the matches.
Mm-hmm. I thought this was pretty good as well. I thought this was entertaining. I really enjoy the Beast Mortals. So I'm glad that they're giving him a push. I like Top Flight. I think they are pretty awesome, Dante and Darius Martin. And it was just fun.
I agree. I think Top Flight is amazing. And the Beast Mortals, I remember when he was Black Taurus back in TNA. He's incredible talent. He definitely has potential to be champion.
And the reason why I did when you introduced me, I did boom, is because during the pre-show they had this guy and his
Costco
son,
guys, right?
The Costco guys, yeah.
I don't
and
know
then
who
they were
they
just
are.
going boom. Oh god, it was just cringe awful.
I've never even heard of the Costco guys.
They love Costco.
All right, so the main card kicked off with MJF versus Daniel Garcia. This is a great way to kick off the show. This match was phenomenal.
I was surprised they started off the show with this match.
Well, I mean, when you look at all of the matches, oh yeah, I get it.
Because I probably would have booked this match probably like in the middle of the show.
Okay, so then what match would you have chosen to open?
I would have had it open with the Young Bucks and the Blackpool Combat Club. Get that match out of the way, and then go to Okada, Briscoe, Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita in that 4-way match.
Okay.
And then from there, just, Osprey and Pac for the International Championship. MJF and Daniel Garcia. Kris Statlander versus Will Nightingale. Mercedes versus Hikaru Shida. Bryan versus Jack Perry. And then Swerve versus Hangman and Page.
So with Daniel Garcia versus MJF, I really like the story that they were telling with Daniel Garcia. There were so many times during this match that he could have ended the match, but he chose to get revenge on MJF, and that cost him, because at the end, what did MJF do? He gave Daniel Garcia a low blow and won.
Because the ref didn't see it.
Exactly.
He tossed the ref towards the back, and then that's how MJF low blowed Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, and that cost Daniel Garcia, because he could have won this match had he not been so, dead set on getting revenge on MJF.
Yeah, I thought that Daniel Garcia was going to come out winning this, but
same. I think he was going to win.
I don't mind MJF winning, though.
So at the end, surprise, MJF shakes Daniel Garcia's hand. He tries to low blow him, but Garcia blocks him and then low blows him. And then that pile driver from the ropes, I was like, oh my god, he could have killed MJF.
It almost looked like his head hit the mat.
Yeah, that looks scary. And then Garcia returns the favor and kisses MJF on the head.
Just what MJF did to Daniel Garcia Wednesday night.
Exactly. So.
And MJF is now going to be taken off of TV.
Oh, really? Is that why they did this?
Yeah. Because I heard that he's filming a movie.
Oh, really?
Of some sort. Yeah.
I haven't heard that. So I guess we have to wait and see what the official story is. Mm-hmm. So next we get the AEW Tag Team title match. The Young Bucks versus the Blackpool Combat Club in the form of Claudio Castelloni and Wheeler Yuta. In my opinion,
boring. Boring.
I felt like this was arguably the weakest match of the well, if you include 0 Hour, wasn't one of the weakest matches, but if you just include the main card, this was the weakest match of the entire main card.
Yeah, by far.
I didn't really like this match. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a decent match, but I wasn't feeling this match.
Not really.
I think it was pretty obvious that the Young Bucks are going to retain. I don't think there was any doubt about that. I thought somebody was going to come out because the camera kept focusing on Claudio, and then it focused to the Young Bucks. I thought that somebody was going to come out, like maybe the Grizzled Young Vets, maybe the Motor City Machine Guns, but nobody came out. I think that would have added something to this match. But
you can't have Okada come out because he's in a match, and you can't have Jack Perry come out because he was fighting Bryan.
Yeah. So obviously, in my opinion, weakest match of the whole card.
Yeah, predictable. We all knew the Young Bucks were going to retain.
Yeah. So next we get the international title match, Will Ospreay versus Pac. I have to say, this was arguably, in my opinion, match of the night. This was my favorite match.
This was my favorite match as well.
Like that spot when Pac reversed the Storm Zero, or with the Hurricanrana.
That was one of my favorite spots.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh my god! And then he beat Pac with the Styles Clash and the Hidden Blade.
AJ Styles got to be watching. He's got to be proud of that.
Definitely. But this was a fantastic match, and I really like the fact that Ricochet was watching this and he was like clapping backstage.
Impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good match this was. And both guys delivered.
Definitely. I hope it's not the last that we see of Pac versus Will Ospreay. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a part 2 to this match.
Same. I really hope that we get three matches out of them. You know, with this being the first, and then probably we'll get one at Wrestle Dream and probably one at Full Gear.
Yeah, definitely. But this is a great match.
Hell, I would like to see them do a lights out steel cage match.
Oof, brutal.
Yeah, but we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm. So next we have the Chicago Street Fight, Kris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. And I have to say, there was a lot of pressure on them because they had to follow Will Ospreay versus Pac, which was a fantastic match. I cannot imagine the pressure that Kris Statlander and Willow Nightingale were feeling having to go next. I mean, I would not want to go next after that match.
Yeah, and they delivered. They kept the pace. You know,
they did.
Interested.
Yeah, this was a fun match. I think that they delivered. They knocked it out of the park. Not once that this match felt like a weak compared to Pac versus Will Ospreay. This was definitely a fun match. I really liked it.
Yeah, and I don't care about the feud. I want the feud to end between Statlander and Nightingale. I really do hope that this was the final match in their feud. I don't want to see it continue after this.
Well, Kris Statlander won by submission, so it possibly could be. So we have to wait and see. But yeah,
you had a lot of good spots in this match. The thumbtacks, Kris Statlander doing that axe kick, missing and going through the thumbtacks.
Oh, and she did the splits.
Yeah, the split.
Oh, what about Kris Statlander powerbombing Willow into the Spanish announce table? It's always a Spanish announce table that gets broken.
Yep. Even in WWE, they do that.
Right.
Well, then that spot where Statlander was on the top and she went through the table and her legs ended up hitting Nightingale.
Yeah. Well, what about the spear off the stage to Willow and they went to the production table?
That was another awesome spot there.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
when she whacked Kris Statlander with the light tube.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither.
I don't think that was like real glass. That was like probably like that. That's sort of like there's a name to the glass. I can't think of it though, but it looked kind of looked like real glass to me, but you know, it looked like a cool spot there.
All right, well, we get a quick Will Ospreay interview, and he's basically saying that he'd give Pac a rematch. I would not mind a rematch again. Seriously,
no, I wouldn't mind it.
And they're definitely setting up for Ricochet versus Will Ospreay because Ricochet did interrupt this. But I will say the one thing that Will Ospreay said that caught my attention was he tells Ricochet to rack up some wins, but they're not doing the ranking system anymore, you know?
Yeah, there's no ranking system anymore.
But yeah,
or you might get that match Wednesday on Dynamite, probably.
They'd be fools to give that match away for free on Dynamite. You gotta save that for the pay-per-view.
You think that'll come at Wrestle Dream?
I think so. But you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they give that on Dynamite though. I was just saying, like a match like that, if that's a pay-per-view quality match, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. All right. So next we get the 4-way for the Continental title. It's Orange Cassidy versus Mark Briscoe versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Okada.
I didn't care for this match.
I thought it was a fun match. Honestly, there were so many suplexes in this match. There was a lot of back and forth. Okada flipping off the crowd like he always does. I really did like the stare down between Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. That ending, it was like back and forth, everything. You got Cassidy doing the breach. Oh, you got Takeshita with the knee strike, Cassidy with the breach break, Takeshita with the lariat, Okada with the Rainmaker, Okada with the drop kick to Takeshita, and then Okada with the Rainmaker to Cassidy. And I was just like, that was like, I thought that was a really great finish.
I did like seeing Okada and Takeshita go at it.
Oh, definitely. Give me that one-on-one match now between Konosuke Takeshita and Okada, because you know that's coming. Mm-hmm.
Book it, TK.
But overall, I thought this was a fun match. All right, next we get the TBS title match: Mercedes Monè versus Hikaru Shida. I thought this was also a good match. Mercedes Monè proving that she doesn't really need Camille at ringside.
Yeah, she was banned.
I could say that she didn't cost herself this match because she looked like she wanted to hit Monè with that kendo stick.
Mm-hmm.
But she hesitated. I think that cost her this match.
Yeah. I mean, well, if she would have did,
she would have gone to
disqualification.
Yeah. So.
But, you know, Mercedes did it on her own.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the booking for Mercedes has been a little weak, in my opinion. And it's just she delivers the same promo every single time she's out there. Oh, I'm the TBS champion. Oh, I run AEW. I am the face of AEW. It's like the same thing with Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
She needs new material.
I'm curious to see who her next opponent is after this. She already beat Britt Baker. She beat Shida. I wonder who's next.
Jamie Hayter.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one. All right, so then this is when we get the AEW World Title match, but we talked about that, so we're going to go ahead and skip to the unsanctioned Lights Out Steel Cage match. That's a mouthful. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland.
Great match.
This was fantastic.
I'm really glad that this was on pay-per-view.
Same. I wonder, I hope Swerve Strickland got those family photos like, duplicated because he stapled those to Hangman.
Yeah. And he saw the staples in his back.
Do they still do that service?
What? Do what?
When can you still produce photos and like have them?
Yeah.
Like, duplicate? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you go to like CVS or Walgreens or like that, they still do them for you.
Oh, okay. Hopefully he got those duplicated.
Hopefully.
Oh man, that staple spot when he was like when they were stapling each other, I was like, oh my god.
They went all out. Coincidence, all out for this match here. I mean, you had tables used, you had a cinder block, you had barbed wire. You also had chairs being used. You also had a needle being used by Hangman Page that he stuck right into Swerve's mouth. That was crazy. I've never seen that in a match before, an extreme match like that.
Not only did he do that, he pulled Swerve's grills off his mouth.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to stomp on them.
And then me too. And then he injected him with that hypodermic needle and then knocked him out with that steel chair. I mean, I legit thought Strickland was knocked out, legitimately.
I thought Hangman
either that or he was just really good at selling that spot.
Yeah. I thought Hangman was going to inject some Novocaine into Swerve.
Hangman won this by knockout. And honestly, I feel like that was the best way. That was the best finish.
Chair.
Yeah.
Did you hear how loud that chair sound was?
Yeah.
That echoed throughout the entire arena. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, he killed him.
My God, he killed him, damn it.
Oh yeah, this was a great match. I think Hangman is satisfied because he finally got his revenge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he also used a piece of wood from Swerve's childhood house. Is the wood from it.
Mm-hmm. The splinter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was great.
Very bloody too.
Huh?
Very bloody too. There was a point where Swerve was smiling. He was like that. He held it up 2 fingers, and then all of a sudden he just collapsed on the canvas.
This was bloody and brutal. I wasn't expecting anything less.
Another match where, Hangman Page was trying to do attempted murder to Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of spots, like we said tonight, that, the superstars went all out to do some attempted murder to some of their opponents.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was it for the review. Overall, I thought this was a great pay-per-view, but there was some stuff that I disliked. So on a scale from a 1 to Sean Spears' perfect 10, what would you rank All Out?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
7 out of 10. I thought this was a good show, possibly AEW's best show in months. And Chicago bought it. Chicago crowd, made a lot of noise, and it made for a good show. It flowed very well.
So I have to say, if I include 0 Hour in my overall ranking, this is definitely a 7. Just because I felt like 2 out of the 4 matches on 0 Hour were were good. If I don't include 0 Hour in my rankings, I'd give this an 8.5. Mainly because I felt like the Bucks versus Claudio and Yuta was like the weakest match of the main card.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So like I said, my final ranking with 0 Hour, a 7. Without 0 Hour, an 8.5.
Okay.
All right, Michael, where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me at Michael101591 here. Subscribe to my channel. I do movie reviews. I do WWE reviews, AEW reviews, Monday Night Raw every Monday, Dynamite Wednesday, SmackDown Friday. Review all the WWE PLEs, sometimes AEW. If I don't get to do, like those AEW pay-per-view results or reviews, I talk about them when I do Dynamite. And I also have old school commercial breaks on my channel. So if you're very nostalgic, come over to my channel and check it out. Also, Dattila pops in from time to time on my live streams as we do predictions, together. So definitely check out my channel. If you are subscribed to Dattila, come to my channel.
Yeah, definitely. All right. As for yours truly, you can follow me on Twitter at @Dattila_. I talk all things wrestling, WWE, AEW, TNA. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. And for all things TNA, you can find me on Body Slam every Thursday. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuing support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or do a new video. And I will see you guys Monday after Monday Night Raw.
Boom.
Bye.